Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason and I'm your watch guy today. There's a few trends with watches in the last few years that I haven't really got on board with. Carbon fibre watches, meteorite dials, and even watches with one hand. Some trends I will never get. One of them that I haven't really partaken in is bronze watches, which are quite popular at the moment and they can usually fetch a nice little price. My favourite's probably the Tudor Blackberry Bronze, but I don't really have £2,500 to £3,000 to go and spend on a watch right now. So, what can we do in our type of affordability field, which is usually under £500? Well, you can get a lot of bronze watches at that price range. What about $299? Sounds alright, that, doesn't it? Now, what if I told you you can get a watch for $299 with a snowflake handset and a Yachtmaster vibe? Well, this is it. It's the Aquatico C-Star Bronze, and I think you're probably going to love it. So this is my first bronze watch, and I'm actually quite impressed by it. I didn't think I'd like this watch as much as I do. So it's the Aquatico C-Star Bronze. They made another version of this C-Star a while back, just in stainless steel, I believe. They came out with this in 2019 with a bronze upgrade. A few things to mention before we start with this. This is my watch. I bought it with my own money. Belongs to me. All these opinions are my own. Let's get into those measurements. So diameter wise, we are looking at a 42mm watch, which I believe sits nicely for most wrist sizes. Lug to lug, it's 50mm. Does curve in quite a bit, so it does fit to your wrist quite nicely. Well, it fits to my wrist quite nicely anyway, especially on this strap. Thick, it comes in at 30mm or just under. Lug width is 22mm. Now this watch, the same as most microband watches on the market nowadays, comes with a NH35 movement. I think that's solid. I would never criticise a watch for that movement in this price range. I think it's all you need, to be quite honest. Now, as I mentioned, one of my favourite bronze watches is the Tudor Blackberry. This has those Tudor hands, and I love those Tudor hands. I love those snowflake handsets. Very nice to see on this watch. The rest of the watch, to me, kind of strikes me as a bit of a Yachtmaster type of homage, especially with this bezel. I mean, obviously, they don't make a bronze Yachtmaster. If you've seen the gold Yachtmaster, it isn't far off. It isn't far off the design. I think with this design, they've done quite well, to be fair. It has a 120 click unidirectional bezel. A little bit of bounce in there. Not much that you'd notice. I've heard other people say that it's quite light, quite loose, but I'd describe it as completely the opposite, that's just my opinion, that's the model I've got. Feels stiffer to me, feels nice and secure, which I quite like. So the bezel, as well as the case, is bronze CUSN8 with a satined effect. So that bronze is the case, the bezel, as well as the bezel insert. You can get this watch with a different type of bezel insert with colours to it. I quite like it bronze on bronze. I think it sets off the watch a bit. With the other colour inserts, it does have more of a Tudor homage type of look to it, which isn't a bad thing. If I'm completely honest, that is one of the nicest looking watches that I have personally seen, the Tudor. We have a domed, slightly domed sapphire crystal sat in this. It's got 2 layers of anti-reflective coating on it, which I think you might be able to spot in the reflection there. A little bit of a blue tone to it. Finishing off this case, we have this quite oversized crown. It is also the same material, bronze, with a Aquatico dolphin on the crown head there. Now, I like the size of this. I really like oversized crowns. There's just something that adds to the styling of the watch that I really do enjoy. I think it makes a nice statement. Now this is a screw down crown. Obviously for a dive watch you would expect that. Helps with the 300 meter water resistance rating, as well as the screw down case back, which is the only stainless steel part of this watch. This is the green dial version. I don't know if you can quite see it because the green is quite dark on these. I do think it is a nice look for them though. Personally, I think the black version is a bit too dark. The blue's quite nice. I think this is the nice medium of the two. We have loomed applied indices all the way around, triangle at the 12, buttons at the 9 and 6, and circular indices for the rest, apart from the date window at the 3. All the indices are loomed, however there is BGW9 loom on them, which I get that it's quite a budget that they're hitting here, but that loom doesn't really stand up to the test of most others. I'll insert a loom shot just here for you and you'll probably see what I mean. It's good, it works, but it's not the best. They could have gone a bit better with it. This dial is finished off with a gold minute track around the edge. I think the gold accents on the dial of this watch and on the indices really do play in to the bronze casing of this watch. It really ties it all in together. I think they've hit the nail on the head with that dial, to be fair. I mean, I don't think we can give them much credit. It is quite a homage. I'll just bring you into those snowflake handsets. They are also trimmed with the gold finish, as well as being loomed, as you saw. Now, when I bought this watch, it came with a rubber strap. I bought it second hand. The guy threw in a couple of straps. He threw in a Milanese strap, black one that I didn't think really suited the watch. I think that came with it. And we got a rubber strap with it also. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of rubber straps. I prefer my leather or steel bracelet. I swapped onto this leather strap, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I think the wearability of a watch really does come down mostly to the bracelet. And this bracelet is brilliant. It's so comfortable on wrist. As well as that, I think the tan leather look really plays into the whole watch. I think this is the perfect coupling for this watch. Also has an oversized buckle with the Aquatico logo printed on it. That will obviously patina with the watch. It's well stitched, it looks well made, and I don't think they could have done much better with that bracelet. Quite impressed with it, if I'm honest, especially at this price point. Now, a few little moans. The loom is not great, as you saw. I think they could have done a lot better with that. Design wise, I do like it, but if you catch this in the wrong light, it looks like a sterile dial because you can't quite see that Aquatico logo at the top. That's a small moan, but at the same time, I think they could have done better again. Print it in white, make it legible. You know, legible watches are the way forward for me. I like to be able to read at a glance. I like to be able to see all the features at a glance. Aside from that, I don't think there's much more to moan about. A little bit of bounce in the bezel maybe. That could be a little bit of a moan. But I think they've really nailed this watch. Now these are still available at $299, which I think works out around the £250 mark. And for that price, I don't think you can do much better. So guys, my first dive, pardon the pun, into a bronze dive watch has been quite a successful one. I really like this watch, and I think with age it's going to get nicer and nicer with the patina. Even if you're a guy that wants to clean up his bronze watch, yeah, great. I think they've really hit the styling of this watch and the design of it right on the head. It's a gorgeous watch, it really is, and it will catch the eye on your wrist. At £250, I think you should have this on your list. I mean, most other bronze watches come in around the £500 mark, around 400 maybe if you're lucky. And I think with this build quality and this type of design, a nice legible design that is also recognisable through a homage to a Tudor watch, I think that's a goer. I really have felt for this watch. So guys, if you've got to this point of the video, please do subscribe for me. I will be bringing out more content very soon for you. If you'd like to see anything on the channel, if you'd like to see me review a watch in particular, then please do leave a comment and tell me what you want to see. I'll see you next time.